What do you think your kids are going to say about you when they turn 25? What about 50? What about 75? I know for some of you it says like that's way too far off for my kids. It may be sooner than you think it is. Well, for the next few moments, I want to talk to you about something that's important to me now at the age I'm at, and that's heritage and legacy. But you can't wait to my age to begin to talk about heritage and legacy because it starts much younger. See, in 2 Timothy, Paul is taking his son in the gospel and he's trying to set him up to lead a church that he himself had started. Paul had started this church in Ephesus. And he looks at Timothy and he says, I'm reminded of your sincere faith, which first lived in your grandmother Lois and in your mother Eunice. But I love this line. I'm persuaded it now lives in you also. In other words, Paul is looking at a young man now and he says, I kind of have an idea about what your heritage and legacy looks like because I know your grandmother. I know your mom. And now I'm looking at you and I'm entrusting you with what I've helped establish at this church in Ephesus. You see, heritage and legacy are more caught than taught. Heritage is what you receive from your past. Legacy is what will take you into your future. So you have to have both. You can't think about, well, I was leaving my kids, $500,000 a piece. Well, that's great, but heritage is what is coming from the past, and their legacy is what's going to propel them to step into their future. You say, what does that mean? You can tell a child to pray, but do they actually see you pray? You can talk to a child about worship, but did they see you worship? You can give a theological exposition on faith, but has your kids seen you in a moment in your family when faith was of a necessity? And how did you walk it out through a tough time? Because see, then at that point, it's being caught and allowing you to teach it the way you live. In working with young couples in pre-marriage, it's not uncommon for us to hear of a young couple that they never had that in their life. They never had any real heritage. They did not know how to serve Christ. They didn't know how to treat each other. They didn't know how to handle finances. They didn't know what respect of elders looked like because it had never been modeled in front of them. It's interesting that if you do your job and you start young, your children will begin to play it out when they get old. Our middle daughter recently reached out and sent a picture of her, and she says, Mom, the apple didn't fall too far from the tree. I just joined the prayer team here at the church. Now, this is a girl that is running numbers all the time, has a background, has worked in the church's finance office. She found herself on the prayer team, and she was like, I know where my heritage is. And now looking at my granddaughter, I'm watching her. Because not only do we give them heritage and give it to her mother, but it's being passed now to my granddaughter. And watching as she's become a heart toward God. And I watched recently, my daughter sent me a picture of her serving in church. You see, we live in a parentless generation that has not had that. And somewhere you can carry the title and the responsibility, but are we truly present of being a parent and being an influence to our kids? You say, how do I make this happen? Give me something simple. Give me something practical. Make it a habit to pray with your children every night. Read them an age-appropriate Bible story. Give them a chance to talk or give feedback. It may be or 2 words. But I've learned this in raising our kids. That moment at night, sitting on the bed, is where some of the greatest conversations came up because it created a safe place because we were talking about their God, their King, in a safe way. I encourage you, these few moments that you invest in your children may be the very thing that allows them to ask some of the hardest questions to someone they trust, and that be you, because you can then give them the heritage and the legacy that's inside of you. Somewhere, start young, make it a habit. In fact, we didn't stop all the way up into the teen years of our kids. Our kids were used to us. Hey, you guys going to bed? Let's jump on the bed. Let's talk about this. Pray with them, tell them a story, give them a chance to talk. You're leaving a heritage and a legacy right now. I'm going to ask you this. Is it the one that you want to leave? It's not too late. If you need help, reach out. We're here to help you make a difference in raising godly kids, leaving a heritage and a legacy that shows Christ in your family.